Shalom, everybody. This is Betty Erica, aka Lady Smooth, aka Lady Bet, aka Lady Yahudeth. Forget all the names that the Lord gave me. Daughter of the Most High, Daughter of the Most High Ministries, okay? And today is a special topic I want to talk about. This is the intro to the lesson I'm going to give, because when I give the real message, I will be wrapping my hair up. And the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, that my hair is like this, because yesterday was my birthday. It was my birthday, and I just turned 38. Yes, I'm not ashamed of my age. You know, a lot of women don't like to tell their age. I'm not ashamed. Hey, much wisdom come with it. Yeah, so I just turned 38 years old, and I'm very, very extremely happy that the Lord has allowed me to see my birthday and celebrate, and I had such a good time with my cousin. It was just beautiful. So this message is interesting. I'm doing this after my birthday because there's been so much encounter about queens, okay? The Lord has put in my spirit that He is raising up queens from the daughters of Zion. Hebrews women, queens from the tribes of the 12 scattered tribes, you know, from Judah and Yashael. And this message is a pre-message to the actual message I'm going to deliver when I wrap up my hair and go into scriptures and talk about the honorable women and prophetess of our ancestors, of the Hebrews ancestors of Yashael. So this is in honor of the Queens of Zion, priestess and priests of the priesthood. Let me start over again. The title is in honor of the Queens of Zion, prophetess and priestess of the priesthood of Ahayah. Okay, one moment. Drop my paper. Ahayah. So all of the queens, this is for you, daughters of Zion, okay? This lady, I believe, I want to say, now I could be wrong, but I want to say that this was one of the Hebrews women that also probably came out of Egypt. And that's why her hands is crossed like that. But she still holds the star, because that's also represent the Hebrews, which is the 12 stars. Also, it could also be, some say it could have been the Queen of Sheba, because she adopted that when she married Solomon. As you know, even though Ethiopians are black, they are not Hebrews, but they are engrafted into the Hebrew bloodline because of the alliance that Queen of Sheba made with Solomon when they were married and had their son. Well, I don't think they got married, but you know, but she did take that to her people, and that's why her people are blessed among God, because they hold the Christian faith, because they too love the laws of King David, and the Queen of Sheba's son was actually a son of Solomon. So that bloodline is there too. Now, let's talk about a little bit of preview of what I'm going to give on my true lesson. This is part 1. So I can read this without my hair being wrapped, because I'm giving shout outs to all of the daughters of Zion. And the Lord has called the names that people I follow and look up to as honorable women, prophetess, and part of the priesthood. So let's start off with number 1. Sister Carrie Ann, okay? And Sister Carrie Ann was the first one that cracked this open because she had a dream that she was crowned queen. And she is a queen. So with that being said, I too, before she delivered this message, I was laying in my bed and I was looking at this same picture because I also have it on my wall. This same picture above my bed, the head of my bed. And I just started imagining myself and I said, I'm a queen. I'm a queen. And also like 2 days later, I had a dream of 2 men carrying me on a throne. So that was something else. But in between that time, let's call out number 2, Victoria Cooper. Now this is Victoria Cooper with Victoria TB, and she's Divine Healing Ministries. She is too a prophetess. She's a prophetess of healing and understanding. She picked up the spirit of understanding what people have gone through supernaturally with the supernatural struggles of life. I'm one of them, and she helped me a lot. So Sister Carrie Ann is a confirmation to the things that I receive in my spirit that are from the Lord, the messages that I receive. And Victoria Cooper is also a confirmation as well, but also a warrior of navigating the issues that we women face and men face too as well. With the supernatural realm and people who have been very devious towards us and evil and wicked ways towards us. So she also had a necklace that said Queen. And I said, oh my God, this is really coming out. Maybe the Lord is doing something. And it is well needed for the daughters of Zion, for the Hebrew women, because Black women have been treated so unfairly amongst black men in society. We have been treated as the bottom of the totem pole, you know, so very low, and so many of our women are getting killed out here and murdered by just evilness, you know. And it's time to honor the women of Zion, because so long the Hebrew women have not been honored. Now you have women of different variations, even in Africa, and some of them are Hebrews too. They still hold that traditions where they're honored and their men honor them, and they all celebrate together, and there's that unity. But since Yashael and the Hebrews have been broken up through constant slavery and constant disobedience that the Lord has called upon them, the women have been called to hold their own in the household, be kind of the head of the household, and navigate the men. And we strengthen the men. You know, the women are black women are constantly strengthening these black men, but they're constantly just, some of them, not all, there's a lot of good men out there. There's some good Hebrew men raising up, like Pastor Omar in church, and I'll get to that too, because there's a special lady I want to call out, which is the first lady. Anyway, you know, they have been slapped in the face, just, you know. So I think the Lord is honoring the women, because for the most part, I just want to say this: He is not pleased with the men. Let's just say that. A lot of the Hebrew men, the Lord is not pleased with, because these men are after money. They're listening to this music, and they're listening to dog women out and do this, and this is the way you do it, and sleep around. And, you know, there's no courtship. There's no covenant before God in their hearts, first of all, with the Lord. And secondly, when it comes to marriage, they're disrespecting their wives and their marriage. And the Lord is not pleased with that. But the women that are openly speaking and honoring the Most High without shame, He's proud of, and He is crowning them with crowns, honey. He's putting a crown on their head, because there is no shame in our game, women. There's no shame. And that's why we are called queens, the daughters of Zion, because no other nation, I'm not saying there are not other women that are engrafted into, you know, because there are some women that do honor the Lord that are engrafted into the Hebrews as the covenant, the spiritual covenant of Abraham, and honoring of our Lord and Savior, Yeshua the Christ. My friend Lauren, I got to call her out. She's one of them. And the Lord has blessed her tremendously. She deserves it. Now, but there's very few, white women that are doing this, I'm going to say, I'm not going to say white women. I'm just going to say women of other nations. Okay, let's just say of other nations. I'm talking about all nations. Asian, Chinese, India, whatever. The most women that honor the Most High and honor Christ and openly do it with no shame is the women of Zion, the daughters of Zion, the Hebrews women. So let's keep going. Another lady, Sister Deborah Yah. I watch her in The Watchmen, and her channel is redirecting, and I'm giving a shout out to her because she's a prophetess as well, and she is the one that sounded the alarm, and she is also waking up the Hebrew people to knowing who we are as a people, our people, and all the scattered 12 tribes in Judah. Okay. First Lady Chantel, School of Hebrews, married to Pastor Omar Tebow. Most honorable woman, and I have to listen to her messages because I just know glory is coming from them. And she also is a great mentor to young Hebrew women and young women all around the world. Okay. Chantel Akabi, my African princess from Nigeria. Cameroon. I think, is it Cameroon? I think she's from Cameroon. Now, Chantel Akabi has her own channel, and she is a prayer warrior. She's a priestess, prayer warrior, and she casts out all these things out of your life, and she has the fire for the Most High. Minister Glenn from Newman Gopherwood Church. Minister Glenn, oh, beautiful Minister Glenn as well. She's on fire for the Lord as well. Another prayer warrior, and another one that could see so many things, that come to her spirit, to the body of Yashael and the body of Christ. Catherine Price. Catherine Price is my girl. Now, that's another American Hebrew woman. And she's on fire for the Lord. And she also brought alarm when it comes to the C-19 to people and the jab. And she brought a lot of alarm to that. And last but not least, Betty Erica, the daughter of the Most High, one and only me. And I just say whatever the Lord put in my spirit to say, and I seek out things, and I also have the wisdom. The Lord has blessed all of us women wisdom, and sometimes I don't apply it, I must say, and I get spanked, get a little spank on the back, but the Lord still picked me back up, and because His faith guides me, I'm able to carry out these lessons to you all. Let's go. Now I'm going to bring up some public figures, okay? Because this is still my pre-video to the next video. And these videos are going to be kind of long because I have some points to prove here, okay? Let's do the public figures that I have. Number 1, Melody Cherie from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Melody Cherie, formerly known as Melody Holt. She has strengthened me in other areas when it comes to wisdom, mentorship. To me, she's very polished. She is very etiquette-like. She's elegant. She's an elegant woman. And she also just brings a lot of awareness to women to guard our hearts when it comes to love, because she's been through such a terrible marriage. Her husband has humiliated her in the most unhonorable way, and he's one of the examples of how the Lord is disappointed when it comes to the men. And she's one of the women that said, God said go, okay? And she raised strengthen women up publicly. She don't have no shame. She don't have no shame of the Lord, of telling people about the Lord and what he has done to her life and guarding her peace and her sanity, and just motivating a lot of us as women of Zion. These are the women that we need, the public figures that we need to lift us up. Let's go with another one. Monique Samuels. Monique Samuels. She was formerly on the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she also was on a little bit of the Love and Marriage DMV DC. Now she does a radio show and hosting, but she has full of wisdom too. She's a very smart, wise woman. And, she tried to hold it down for her husband and keep things together within their marriage. And she's just such a beautiful spirit woman with wisdom. Let me see, who else? Candace Owens. Candace Owens, to me, is the most... She should have just been a judge or something, or the greatest politician ever when it comes to politics. She's one of the black women that's holding it down in politics, and she make it very aware that she's not a racist or anything. None of us are. We may bring race into the equation. None of us are. And the thing is, people think that she's not so much pro-black, but she is very much so pro-black. She's pro-fair. She's very fair in her judgment and a lot of these things and changes in the world. And she's one of them that's not afraid to say, hey, we're not going to go with the okie doke and what the laws that tell us that wrong is right and right is wrong, and it's okay to teach your kids about the LGBT community and all this stuff. She's one of them to hold it down. Oh, I forgot one more. Angela Stanton. Okay, Angela Stanton King. She is one of them that, oh boy, this woman has a story for your life. She held it down. She has a book called The Lives of a Real Housewife. That's her book. I have that book. Oh my goodness. This woman has been through so much, and she also brings awareness to politics as well. She's another public figure, and she also do the job, and she also helps when it comes to black women and women in general being human trafficking. Okay. I'm going to say Brown Sugar Babe. She is a YouTuber. This young girl, I know she's young, I could tell by her voice, but she's full of wisdom, and her logic is so on point that I was like, wow, this woman is one of my favorite content creators on YouTube when it comes to breaking down certain things like the topic of love and marriage, Huntsville, and many other things. Now, last but not least, Judge Lauren Lake. Judge Lauren Lake is the ultimate judges of all judges. I don't even know why they stopped paternity court, because this woman has helped families, and she's really helped situations, and she's always thinking logic, and she knows how to read in between the lines when it comes to people trying to go over her head or lie to her. It does not miss her. She's so full of wisdom, and she breaks it down, and I know she has a big study in psychology, because she really can read when people are trying to do wrong, and she's fairness when it comes to all races. She's a very fair judge and most honorable woman judge. She's another Deborah in my eyes. She's a Deborah Yah from Redirecting is another Deborah, prophetess Deborah of the Bible. When I say Deborah, I'm talking about prophetess Deborah of the Bible. And of course, Sister Carrie Ann is another spirit of that prophetess in the Bible of Deborah. Now, before I get into the prophetesses of the Bible on my second video, I'm going to read an honorable woman that is a little bit talked about, but not well known. And her name is, what's her name? I just said it. Write it down. Okay, Yah Asantewaa. Queen Yah Asantewaa is an African woman Okay, so I got this information. Shout out to Home Team History, because I got this information from him. And I had to do a little bit more research about this queen, about the golden stool. She's from the tribe of Ashanti. And I'm going to talk about the tribe of Ashanti, because the tribe of Ashanti is a tribe of Ashan, which is one of the 12 tribes in part of the Levitical priesthood, the Levites. And I'm going to show you exactly who they are. And today they are known as Ghana. Today the people are known as Ghana, which, you know, all of this stuff, this information has been, the names of everything has been turned and twisted around. So people are confused. And that's why the tribes are hidden. As Psalms 98 say, my hidden ones. That's another story the Lord talks about. But I want to go into the tribe of Ashanti. And I also want to say that the British had taken over them. Now let's talk about the British. The British derivative comes from the Romans, okay? That's why so much of the Roman influence and the Roman Catholic Church have influenced America and the Eurocentric churches. And that's why every time you pull up anything concerning the Hebrews, first of all, they say Jewish, the Jewish queen. When you bring up Deborah and you do your research on Wikipedia, whatever, or Google, whatever, it says the Jewish queen, and it has this European. No, these African women, these women from Africa, who are Hebrews, and also women all over the continent, have had that strength to go before the men and strengthen the man and also be involved in all of these battles. There was no European woman doing that, and Jewish is not a race. So in the Bible, the original King James Version, it doesn't, there's no Jewish, okay? First of all, it's Hebrews. It talks about the Hebrew woman of Yashael in the Bible when it comes to the subject of Deborah. Okay, and we'll talk about that in the next video. Right now, I want to talk about the tribe of Ashanti. And this is another example of it, okay? Okay, I want you to see that, because this is the pen facts of the true Hebrews, aka Jews, that's what they call them, but it's the Hebrews, and this is the priest wearing the ephod of the 12 tribes, and he is part of the Ashanti. He's being carried, he's one of the chiefs being carried into captivity by the British, okay? See, they don't want to show this. Look, the Ashanti people, okay, which is come from the Ashan and the Levites, the priesthood, okay? I hope you guys can see that. Excuse the shadows. See that? Look at that very well. This is an important topic, okay? So let me go into Queen they call her Mother Queen Asantewaa. Her name is Yah Asantewaa. And that's another thing. They changed all the Y's to J's. Jesus Christ's name is Yesiah. Yah, that Y-A-H. And Ahayah has the Yah at the end. And the Africans and the Bantu, the 12 tribes all had Yah in their name. Even my name, Betty, which I'm named after my grandmother, it means an oath of God. That's the original. So the British took the name of Betty. Betty is really from, you know, a lot of the Hebrew bloodline. You know, there's a lot of black women named Betty, and there's a few women even from Africa, because backwards is Yabet. Yabet. That's why I say sometimes Lady Bet. But Yabet with the Y at the end. B-E-T-T-Y. Just turn it around. Okay? A little disclaimer, a little education about my name for y'all. Okay? Home team history. This is what he says. He said her speech led to war. This is the fight for the golden stool. African women have been seen to participate in various aspects of warfare on the continent of Africa. The Cushite queens Monterey, the Ashanti Empire, aka tribe of the Ashan of Akan. They affiliated with the Akan people because a lot of the Hebrews had fled to certain areas of Africa, and they tried to team up with them, and they were defeated by the British because those teams did not help them fight. And specifically, the British came to the Ashanti tribe to conquer, but the main thing they wanted overall, not the main thing, but to establish their glory, so to speak, they wanted the golden stool. And this queen said, no, they got enough from us. We're gonna hide this stool, and we're gonna fight whether we win or lose, however, but they're not getting the golden stool. So since we're talking about in honor of the queens, let's talk about Queen Yaa Asantewaa. Okay. And in Ghana, the Levite queen, today known as Ghana. The story of the golden stool is a symbol of the tribes that defeated the Dankwa, which was a stronger power at the Mose Tutu. Mose Tutu was one of the chiefs. The British took over. One of the chiefs the British took over. Okay, Yaa Asantewaa. The British, who really derivated from Rome. I said that. Okay. The British studied Africa, and they studied. They just messed up so much, and those are really known today as these so-called Uish people. Okay, with the J, J-E dot W-S. Okay, they infiltrated, and that's why when you look up, when you Google, and it say all these European characters that are not them, this is such a deception when it comes to the 12 scattered tribes of the people. Okay, because we all know all of this was conquered in Africa. We all know that these women had a voice. Okay, we know now that nobody speaks. I'm gonna just say it. Just for certain Gentiles nations, the only ones speak for them are men. Okay, when it comes to the Hebrews and the daughters of Zion, black women speak. Black women have a voice, and they don't shut it up. Okay, so Yaa Asantewaa, she encouraged the men just like the story Judith. Now, which is Yahudith. Okay, the real name is Yahudith, and I'm gonna go into that story because that is my character. Okay, I'm always having such an encounter when it comes to conquering certain spirits of certain men, and that's what Judith had to do to save Yashael at the time. Yehudith, known as Judith, which these are honorable queens of daughters of Zion and prophetess and prophets and priestess that are not really spoken of in the Bible. The only ones that they speak of is Ruth and Esther, Queen Esther. Okay, which is the greatest, which are great ones. But there were many more that weren't talked about, and it's because once the scriptures got to these areas and these European areas and Babylon, America, or U.S. Babylon, U.S. I want to say, it was offensive that the women had these honors. They didn't understand, how did these women have so much honors and defeat these men? So let's only choose and talk about Esther. Let's talk about Ruth. Let's forget all these other important women of the Bible. But no, there were many. Okay, and we're going to talk about it in my next lesson. So it goes on to say, how this is the speech of Yaa Asantewaa. How can a proud and brave people like the Asante sit back and look while the white man took away their king and chiefs, just like I showed you the picture, and humiliated them with a demand for the golden stool? The golden stool only means money to the white man. They hate. Now let's stop here. She's exactly right. it seems like all of these other Eurocentric teachings, basically it is a piggyback for the money, you know. And even when it comes to the I want to say the JE.WS religion, because that's what it is, and it's money. There's no honor and glory of the Father and of our Lord. There's no honor and glory there. When they took this golden stool, and you need to check out team home team history. That's his name. Wait, is it home team? Yeah, home team history, and check out. It's the title of it is Her Speech Led to War, and it's about the golden stool and Queen Santua. Now, if you check him out, it goes into details. But the reason why I say this is because the stool was dedicated. They said they would get it from the heavens. From the heavens, and we know that it can only be from above, from our Lord. And it was a symbol for the tribe, for their unity. And they only know where it's hidden, because the British did not get their hands on that. They got their hands on everything else, but they have not got the golden stool. And eventually the golden stool will show up one day, right? Okay, so let me continue. Her speech says, sit back and look while the white man took away their kings and chiefs and humiliated them and demand for the golden stool. The golden stool only means money to the white man. They have searched and dug everywhere for it. It shall not pay one predon to the governor. If you, the chiefs, and she's talking to the man, she's encouraging them. If you and the chiefs of Ashanti are going to behave like cowards and not fight, you should exchange your loincloths for my undergarments. That's what she said. Exchange your loincloths for my undergarments. Okay? She told them, I might as well just throw in a towel. And so they were encouraged by her speech, and they fought. And even though they did not prevail, they prevailed the most sacred thing that was sacred to the Ashanti tribe, aka Levite tribe, aka the Ashan people of the scattered 12 tribes. These are Hebrews, okay? They won't say it, but they're Hebrews. And furthermore, because I'm about to end this lesson. Furthermore, what I was going to say, my point was, this is also, to me, a connection of the woman queen. Now, when you watch the movie The Woman Queen, it's very similar to the golden stool, the story of the golden stool. So just watch it. And I'm also quite certain that another reason why the British prevailed, not only because of the unity of the alliance that the tribes had with others, which Yashael was hated by a lot of tribes, whatever, because served the most Ahayah, that didn't help and fight, that for that tribe, was because they were outnumbered with guns. Okay, the Ashanti people didn't have that firearm that the British had at the time. They were still coming out of the weapons that were created, that were man-made, created and stuff. So they didn't have that firearm. That's why these cowardly people came in and were able to really conquer, because they had weapons of war, and infiltrated all throughout the continents of Africa. So, with that being said, this is the daughter of the Most High, Ministries. We pray Psalms 91 on this channel, and I will say shalom. This is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. This is in honor of all of my prophetess queens and You guys are queens, the daughters of Zion. This is the honor of all of the honorable women. Shalom.